Welcome to the October 19th edition of Neogen's Monday Mycotoxin and Crop Report. Today's headlines: corn harvest approaches the midway point. Flooding in the Carolinas causes crop concerns. Updated down levels in new crop corn. Corn prices likely range-bound into year-end. And also, stay tuned for an exciting announcement. I'm Katie Cook, sales representative with the Milling and Grain team. The wheat harvest is now complete. This year's early wet conditions created quality variability in test weight and protein. Milling quality is reduced due to sprouts and high down levels, which are reflected in the reports we've received in nearly every producing state, including a report from Nebraska as well as Ontario and Saskatchewan. All major classes of wheat have been impacted by DON this year. 2015 has been the worst year of DON in 17 years. The barley harvest is also complete. We have confirmed DON reports in barley in Virginia, Maryland, North Dakota, and Minnesota. In the wake of torrential rains 2 weeks ago, last week saw persistent river flooding in the Carolinas. Grain still in the field will be severely impacted. Increased damage and mycotoxin development may occur. Many grain facilities in flooded areas could have damage to inventory in the bins as well as their infrastructure. The Southwest received some much-needed rain, but most of the Plains, Midwest, and Mid-South had mild dry weather, which was favorable to harvest and crop development. Temperatures were generally above normal in most parts of the country. October 14th USDA crop report shows corn maturity has advanced across the country, bringing maturity to near-average levels. The percentage of corn rated good to excellent continues unchanged from prior weeks, as does corn in poor to very poor condition. Compared to last year at this time, the quality of poor to very poor corn is 3 points higher, and the percentage of good to excellent is 6 points lower. Poor to very poor quality is most prevalent in Illinois, Indiana, North Carolina, and Ohio. 42% of corn has been harvested, 1 point under the 5-year average. States behind average are Colorado, Iowa, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, and Wisconsin. We have confirmed reports of aflatoxin in Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Kansas, and new this week, Oklahoma. We have confirmed reports of fumonisin in Texas, North Carolina, and California. We also have confirmed reports of DON in corn from Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and new this week, Minnesota and Michigan. Neogen continues to closely monitor the nation's crop progress. Watching each week assures you of keeping up on significant developments through the balance of harvest season. And now, with this week's Brock Report, here's Kurt Barth.
Corn yields, like beans, are coming in better than expected, even in areas most affected by the excessive rains earlier in the year. An indicator that we use regularly, the 5-week close rule, gave a sell signal Friday as we closed below all of the previous 5 weeks' closing prices. Additionally, midweek we plunged below the last of the 3 moving averages that we follow, the 18, 40, and 100-day moving averages. It seems likely that we'll test the early September lows around 360 sooner rather than later. Nonetheless, with cash prices already at the low end of both ours and USDA's range, making and sustaining lows below 360 seems unlikely unless the average nationwide yield turns out higher than USDA's current estimate of 167. Despite increasing carryout by 15 million bushels, USDA raised its price estimate for barley by 15 cents per bushel on the high and low side in its latest supply and demand report. It's not as counterintuitive as it may seem, however, as its midpoint price is still a full 25 cents lower than last year's average of 530 when carryout was 80 million versus the updated estimate of a 95 million bushel carryout this year. NOAA's latest winter weather forecast, heavily influenced by El Nino, shows a warmer and drier winter for the northern tiers of states, a cooler and wetter one for the southern states, and something in between for the midsection. Such a weather forecast may give mid-south wheat growers pause when planting acres, given that cool, wet weather, together with low prices, are a 1-2 punch for wheat.
To view these reports on your smartphone or tablet, visit the App Store and download the Neo Myco app. You can also use the app to submit levels you're seeing in your area and become one of the many testing partners whose participation make these reports possible. We encourage you to share this report by forwarding the link to others in your company, as well as anyone else who would benefit from watching. Neogen is very excited today to announce the release of a brand new diagnostic kit for the detection and measurement of aflatoxin in grain. Based on the gold standard Veritox platform, it's called Veritox for total aflatoxin, and it features superior cross-reactivity across the B1, B2, G1, and G2 types of aflatoxin. It also features an aqueous extraction, which means no more hazardous shipping fees, no hazardous material disposal, and a much more environmentally friendly product. Contact your Neogen sales representative today to find out more. For information on Neogen's full line of mycotoxin testing products and services, go to neogen.com. Thank you for your interest in Neogen Solutions.